Hi, Daniel Hastings again from MMJ Real Estate Wollongong, just giving you our monthly real estate property video blog for November 2015. Interesting to note that there was some drops and in the clearance rates coming out of Sydney, the statistics coming out of the REI, etc. Nice to see though that in the last week we've probably seen an increase in clearance rates again. I think it's important to note when you have these clearance rate statistics coming out in the media, you've got to keep in mind that there are a lot of auction properties in comparison to say 12 months ago. So despite the fact when you're seeing them perhaps below 70%, which we've seen in the last month or so, there's a lot of property being auctioned, and it still suggests a very good climate from a selling perspective when you consider general market conditions that you would compare with over the many years. So still quite encouraging, but nice to see a bit of a rise again, and certainly suggesting that there's still good times for sellers as well. On our auction front, we've certainly had a good run. We had an auction event only a few weeks ago now where of the MMJ Wollongong properties, 4 out of the 5 properties were sold, admittedly one just prior to the auction as well, but really, there's an 80% clearance rate there, so certainly well above the clearance rates that we're seeing with industry statistics that have been published of late as well. Auctions coming up, we've got some really good ones coming up at the end of this month on the 28th. One in Fig Tree at 17 Partridge Place. David Geary has really been pleased with the initial indication of things, and certainly he's also got another one. Oceanside position, and that's looking spectacular and has really gained some traction in its campaign too. So really looking forward to those auctions in a short while. And in addition to that, we do have some other auction events. Victor Shalala has one coming up on New Dapto Road, number 2 New Dapto Road, on the 9th of December. And we also have a really exciting one too, really different one I should say, on the 16th of December in the corner of Smith Street and Thomas Street in Wollongong, and unique from the point of view that we've got very charming cottage with a approved use or furnished, I should say, boarding home as well. B4 zoning, business type zoning there, but certainly some redevelopment potential, particularly with that corner site offering a little bit more too. So that's a really interesting one coming up as well. Speaking of the REI again, we've touched on before the vacancy factors, and the Illawarra as a whole is still holding its own very, very well. We're actually on level pegging with the Sydney market at a vacancy of just 1.9%. So again, it's only going to continue to encourage investment, I would think, in our region, be it from a local perspective or even from perhaps outsiders who are still continued to inquire on property in the Illawarra also. That's largely it, but getting back to the auctions, we certainly are very proud to be once again doing the Kids Wish charity ball. That's on Friday the 20th of November. We're certainly excited that we can help with their charity auction. It's a massive event. I think they've got somewhere between 850 or 900 people, so every year again we're certainly pleased to be involved in a local charity and in their major fundraiser for the year too. So hopefully we'll see a few of you at that event, and you might be generous enough to help me out and make a few bids on top of that as well. That's about it, I think, for our November blog. Thank you again for watching, and look out for our December blog in the coming weeks. Thanks again.